Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a fun video for you. We're leading up to Halloween, and I'm not one who personally celebrates Halloween, but I have some friends who have amazing costume parties every year. And I mean, we're talking like they have a competition, they plan months in advance. I started thinking, if I were invited to something like that, what would I wear? What would I do? Because typically I'm not one who wants to go out and spend a lot of money on a costume and all these props and accessories. And then it came to me, I have had this request to do a rocker chick hair and makeup look, especially the hair. And I thought, okay, this is the time to do it. So today I'm gonna be bringing you a makeup and hair tutorial. We're gonna be having a lot of fun. I'll warn you, this is not going to be your everyday light makeup look, but this is gonna be a fun look. And I wanna say a big thank you to Byootique for partnering with me in this video. They sent me this amazing 3-in-1 train makeup case to share with you all. I pulled out all my products I'm going to use and I have neatly organized them. They're all in clear view. So I think I'm going to be able to move through this look really quickly. Be sure you check the description box below for a link to not only all of the products that I'm using today, but also for a link to Byootique's website. They are going to be having a special promotion this weekend. If you're watching this video over Halloween, follow them on Instagram and they will be sharing discount codes and all that. They have lots of other makeup train cases, backpack makeup cases. They have all kinds of very unique cases on their website, so go check them out. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Now let's get started. All right, first item I'm applying is the Milani eyeshadow primer. And by the way, I have pulled out all drugstore products for today's video. Next, I'm applying a face primer. This is the Catrice ID Pore Minimizer Primer. I showed this in a recent vlog, and I do like this in connection with the Catrice foundation that I'm going to be using today. All right, while that primer sinks in, we're gonna go back to the eyes because I'm gonna do a more smoky look, and usually that means I'm gonna have a lot of fallout. So I wanna just be able to clean that up without ruining my foundation. So the palette I've chosen to use today is the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop. I've had a request to do more looks with this, and I just think this is the perfect rocker chick palette. But it's also a great everyday palette. I'm going to start off with the matte cream shade. This is called Luxe. I'm using the Sigma E50. All right, I have decided I want to do some tape out here. So I'm just using some washi tape, keeping with the theme of rocker chick. I've got one with music notes on here. And so I want kind of a dramatic winged out smoky look. So I'm going to do tape. If you've never seen this technique done before, it really does make it easy to create kind of a winged out liner or shadow look. Okay, going to our palette, I'm going to throw something in the crease real quick just to give us something to blend up into. So I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Enigma. I'm using the BK Beauty 201 brush. And I'm just going to throw this in the crease, and I'm actually going to kind of blend up over a little bit of that brow bone highlight shade because that highlight shade was a little light. We don't want it to be too stark. And let's go in with a little bit of the color right next to it, which is called Ghost Town. Ooh, that's appropriate, isn't it? For this smoky look, I think the easiest thing to do is next to go to the lash line. So I'm going to go to the lash line with the Pixie Endless Silky Eye Pen in Black Cocoa. Now you might be thinking, wait, aren't we doing like a black smoky eye? Yes, but sometimes if you've ever had a black smoky eye end up looking blue and silvery, this is the way to help prevent that. We're going to go in with a black brown as a base under our black shadow, and that can help prevent it from turning to cool tone. So I'm going to just really messily put this all across the lash line. I'm going to keep it real thin as I go into the inner corner, but I'm going to go messy because I want to have a good amount to smudge above the lash line. So, and again, I'm going over that washi tape in the outer corner. Now I'm going to use this new BK Beauty brush. This is the 210. It's a tiny little bullet point brush. I used this the other day and I'm like, oh, Ooh, I kind of like this. It's a little smaller and more precise than their regular bullet brush. So you can see it almost appears like black on camera, but just has that hint of brown. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in next. This is gonna sound a little weird and seem a little strange, but we're gonna go in with our shimmer next and then go over it with our mattes. So I've been playing around with a combination of this silver and this shade right here. So this is Sediment to Be. And when you see my jacket that I'm gonna put on, you'll understand why I kind of like that little bit of kind of olive, but this silver is so vibrant, it can kind of easily take over. So I'm gonna start with just a little bit of the silver on my finger, and I'm just lightly tapping that on my lid. And then I'm gonna go in with that other shade, going right over the top of it. And you can see how that just muted the silver down, but the silver is still peeking through. And now I'm going to go back to a matte dark brown and go over those colors. I just think this is kind of an easier way to get our overall look. So next I'm gonna go in with this shade. This is the black in the palette, but I'm gonna go right next to it. And that shade is called Drama Mama. And I'm gonna go in with the BK Beauty 206 brush. And this is slightly fluffy, but more pinpointed than that first brush we had. And I'm just lightly tapping off the brush. And now I'm going to go over that, almost that entire area with that color, but putting most of the pigment here in the outer corner. And then I'm gonna bring it through the crease with what's left on the brush. Isn't that fun? So there's not really a stopping and starting point to the shimmery shades on the lid. It just kind of all meshes together, and as the light catches it, it's a little more dramatic, but it's not quite as harsh as if I had gone in straight with that black matte shadow. And then I feel like I need just a little more of a blend right here. So I think I'm gonna go in with this shade, which is called Trip. And I just wiped off that brush really well, the 206, and I'm gonna go right on the top there. And then I'll go in with this shade over here, which is Ghost Town. So just kind of blending, yeah, that's a little better. Okay, one last thing, you could skip if you wanted to, but you know, we're going drama, so I'm gonna use liquid black liner. This is the Maybelline Hyper Easy Brush Tip Liner. I do love this, but I find that over time, sometimes it starts leaking out the brush tip. So far, oh, yep, see, I've got a little bubble of pigment there. So you might have to wipe it off on a tissue, but otherwise, this is a fabulous drugstore liner. I love this super fine point tip. Allows you to get right up close to the lashes. And then I'm going to bring this over that washi tape and work my way up. And then I'm bringing that line back towards the center of the lash line, not all the way to the center, but okay, time to take off the tape. Let's see how everything is looking. Now, a big part of rocker chick makeup looks is waterline and a smoked out lower lash line. So this is a newer pencil from Pixi. It's called I Define Waterline. So it's specifically formulated for the waterline. It's a twist up and it is really, really soft and pigmented. Now, I'm not gonna take this all the way across because I do wear contacts. So this has performed pretty well for me. I'm really working that into the roots of the lashes. Now I'm taking the Morphe M432 brush and just smudging that back and forth. This brush is so soft, it's not irritating at all, so you can easily do this. And then I'm gonna go below that on the outer corner with a little bit of this gray. It's called Rumor Mill. I'm gonna do this here. And I'm just kind of almost patting and pressing. And then I'm gonna go below that with a combination. I think I'm gonna try our little shimmery duo that we did on the upper lash line. So I'm gonna use a combination of Sediment to Be and Magnetic Moon. And let's just see what that looks like. And then let's use a little bit of these two shades just to further soften the edge of that here as we go in towards the inner corner. I'm going to clean up under the eyes, and that will help me kind of fix and sharpen this wing out here. So I just like to use a little bit of almond oil. All right, then I like to take this tiny little brush. This is the BK Beauty 208 brush, and I'm gonna go in the dark brown of the palette, and that is the Drama Mama shade. And I'm going to, just right here, I am going to just gently pull my skin taut and drag that brush up, and it just gives the hint that that line extends and just kind of fades into nothing. So instead of having a harsh ending point, and now that I've got that set, now I'll go in with the black shade, which is called Rock Bottom, and I'll just go right over the top of that. And then you can take your little tiny pencil brush, and I'll use a little bit of Drama Mama, just gonna really tap that brush off and just finish connecting the outer corner. One little final blend. So these are all steps that are just perfecting steps. If you don't have time to do this, you could skip it and it'll be fine, because after all, it's just a costume, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Now with a dramatic eye like this, getting really good coverage and covering up those dark circles, it's really important. So I'm gonna go in first with the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is the Peach Corrector shade, and I've used this before on several of the mature makeovers that I have done, and I really find this actually works quite well. It's very inexpensive. So I'm just using this on the darkest parts under my eyes, because we've got gray shadow that can really bring out any dark tones under the eyes. And then before applying concealer, let's go ahead and apply foundation. I've decided to go ahead and go back to the Catrice foundation. This is the True Skin Hydrating Foundation, and it is 015 Warm Vanilla. And I'm using my BK Beauty 101 brush. I just love this brush. I do need to wash it. You can see, oh my goodness, this is really good coverage. So going full coverage. All right, now I'm taking the new BK Beauty, what is this? The 109 brush. I got a little bit too much on my brush, and I thought, you know what? Let's use this to just work in the excess foundation, and oh, that's really working nicely. It's small, so if you were going to apply all of your foundation with this, it might take a little bit of time, but on the other hand, if you just want to kind of perfect certain parts of your face, I like it. It allows you to kind of just press it in, which helps, I think, blur the pores. Okay, now we need to fix the under eyes. I'm going to use a combination of 025 and 015. This is the Revlon Color Stay Skin Awaken 5-in-1 Concealer. I love this. This is my favorite from the drugstore. I don't love this sponge tip on the top, but you can take it off. Let me go back to that brush. Let's just see how this works for concealer. It's a little big under the eye, but it sure does get the job done quick, doesn't it? Nice. This is super soft too. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna do a little bit of this lighter shade right here. You know you've done a good job with your foundation and getting full coverage if when you're done, all you're seeing are your eyes. So now let's add a little bit of shape back to the face. I'm using the Kiko Milano Sculpting Touch contouring stick, and this is 201. I'm going to add some shape to the face now with this. And then we'll add a little bronzer, a little blush to add color. Let's use the new BK Beauty 111 brush. Let's just see how this does. I'm gonna switch to the 107 brush. I feel like the 107 has just a little more denseness to it. Oh, the wonders of contour. Okay, now we need some powder. I'm using the Honest Beauty. This is the Invisible Blurring Loose Powder. And I'm gonna use just this soft velvet sponge to press us in. All right, now under the eyes, I don't have a favorite drugstore powder, but I'm gonna try one that I have tried a few times. We'll just see. This is the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance Press Powder. I have it in the shade 110. I just use my Sedona Lace brush here and go in with the lightest amount. I have seen that some people say this is their favorite for setting concealer. That would be nice if I could find one from the drugstore. Okay. All right, we have a little shape, but now we need some color. I'm gonna go back to the 111 brush, and I'm gonna start off, this is the bronzer shade of the Physicians Formula bronzer. I'm not sure, this might still be too light for me. Let's see. This is my winter bronzer. Actually, it's not too bad. Really light amount of color. For blush, I'm going to use the Essence blush in Bespoke. This is a really nice neutral blush. I'm using the Morphe E4. Tone down that blush a little bit on the side. And then we're going to go in with highlighter. And the only one I have right now from the drugstore in my collection is this one from Maybelline. It's the Master Chrome. And on my packaging, it's 250, number 250, but I think this has a different numbering system. I'll link it down below, but I'm gonna use this BK Beauty brush. This is the 112. And if you saw my unboxing, when I opened this brush, I thought, oh, that looks like it might be a good highlighter brush. So we're gonna give this a try. Oh, it is a good highlighter brush. And this highlighter is no joke. Wow, I haven't used this one in a while. I'll use my bronzer brush just to kind of blend all that together. All right, the next really super important part when you're doing a smoky eye is the brows, of course. I pulled out this Milani Precision Brow Pencil. I've been using this week just kind of based on the current tone of my highlights and my color and my hair. This one's been working well. So we're gonna start off with this one, and this shade is the shade Taupe, 110 Taupe. Okay, now as a finishing touch, if you can see from this eye to this eye, do you notice just a slight little difference? That's because on this eye, I went in with just a little bit of my bronzer, and this is the 202 brush from BK Beauty. And what this does is it just warms up that crease area and the brow. I feel like the brow bone highlight, if it's too stark, it just really highlights the hood of the eyes. But also by going in with just a little bit of your bronzer, it ties in with the shades that we have going on the rest of the face. So it's still dramatic, but I just feel like it's not quite as harsh. right? Okay, let's add some mascara. My favorite mascara combination for the drugstore is the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer plus the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I use this combination on the upper lashes, and then the lower lashes, I finally found a tubing mascara that does not smudge, doesn't flake. It is the Snapscara mascara by Maybelline, the waterproof version. So I'm gonna curl my lashes and apply this, and then we'll finish up with some lips and then get to the hair. Now, while my mascara finishes drying before I clean up, let's move to the lips. I obviously can't use my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot that I normally do, so I just took my foundation brush, went around my lips, and then I tapped on a little bit of setting powder. Now, the lip combination I've chosen is a very nude lip look, and that is because I want to keep all the drama on my eyes and my hair. We got to stick around for the hair. So I'm going to do something real nude on the lips. I'm going to start with the L'Oreal Matte It lip liner. All right, mine I think it's time to throw away. It had gotten kind of a little dried out, so I was able to get almost all the way around. I'm gonna finish off though with the LA Girl. This is the Shockwave lip liner in Maple Glaze. This is just a little warmer, and so I'm gonna use this just to kind of feather the edge of that lip liner a little bit. For my nude lip color, I'm using the Kiko Milano Stylo lipstick, and this is 01. Now this, don't be fooled, when you first put it on, it feels like it's just gonna slide right off. This sets and stays for hours. And to top it off, I'm gonna use a little bit of the Makeup Revolution Shimmer Balm Lip Gloss with Vitamin E. And this is the shade Starlight. And these are so good. I think there's 3 different shimmer colors in this formulation. It's a little sticky, but it stays on for a long time. And then we need some inner corner highlight. So I'm gonna go back to our palette, and I'm gonna start off with this white shade right here. It's matte, mostly matte, I think, and I'm just gonna touch that in the inner corner, and then use my E30 from Sigma just to kind of blend that in. Let's go in with our face highlighter. I just like to do this, ties everything together. Okay, I just wet my hair down so we can start from scratch. Let's comb it out here. For today's look, I really need some good volume. So I'm gonna use the Sexy Hair Big Root Pump Plus. So I'm gonna put a little bit back here, and then we really need some up front here. So I'm going to just kind of section this off with my fingers here. And then I am going to put a little bit through the front. And here on the sides. Okay, and then I'm using my hands, put a little bit on my fingers, and I'm going to just kind of comb this into the side portions here, the top of my undercut, just because I want a little hold in that area as I blow dry. Okay, we're just gonna be doing some fun things here as we blow dry. So the overall goal is we're gonna be doing a faux hawk kind of a look. So there's a couple different ways to do this, and depending on how mine looks at the end, we'll decide, but I'm going to initially kind of be doing this forward, and then the back portion, I want to actually kind of go down. I'm not gonna do all of this up as well. So we're gonna kind of focus this top portion to kind of go up here towards the front. So let's get to blow drying. really need a great pomade to help shape the hair. So as you saw, as I was blow drying, I really was concentrating on bringing it forward. Most of the inspiration pictures I've looked at online, that's kind of how it goes. And then in the front, just depending on how long it is, what you want, you can bring it up straight up, you can bring it forward, a little mixed. I think I'm gonna be doing like a little mixed like that. So let's go in with Enjoy Dry Wax. And this is a time when I'm not gonna be shy. I'm not gonna skimp on the product because I'm not worrying about keeping this hair day for 2 days. So I'm starting off with kind of my normal amount on my hands first. And I'm gonna work this all through my hair. You can see the back, I really concentrated on keeping that kind of going down and not really spiking too much, because then we're gonna bring this forward, the front portion. That's where we really want all the drama, right? So then let's just work this through and see what we end up with here. Now the front of my bangs they're so long that if I were to go straight up, it might be even more dramatic than it is. So I'm going to see what I can do of just kind of letting a little bit of that front portion kind of fall. Well, that's kind of fun, right? I mean, come on, it's not every day we get to do this, right? All right, and then I'm just gonna kind of piece a little bit here. And if you've never used this Enjoy Dry Wax product, you will love it because it remains pliable. So I can still continue to rework sections of the hair with what's already on the hair. Okay, let me show you kind of what's going on over here. So because the front of my hair is so much longer, that's where it's really kind of just doing this whole curl thing all on its own. And the back here, I'm gonna pull around to this side. I just think that's kind of a cool look. All right, I am gonna take my flat iron just right here because I don't want this really going out too much to that side. So I'm just gonna take it kind of straight up there. And let's see, possibly the section right below it. Let's just do that. Okay, that's about all I'm gonna do with the flat iron. Okay, now we really need to freeze this in place. And you know, my go-to is the Aussie Instant Freeze Hairspray. And let's just go ahead and spray this in place. All right, let me get my jacket on and then we'll have our completed look. All right, now with my olive green moto jacket and some bold jewelry, I think it makes the whole look make sense and come together. And I have to say, I really like this look. I wish I had a place to wear this, but let me give you a finished look of the hair. So from this side, I think it really looks like a faux hawk. And then this side, you know, is extra long there. And I just think sometimes you just have to go with the direction that your hair wants to go. And even though I thought initially I was gonna style it all up off the forehead, I actually like how it's falling right there, like my own natural curls. So, and then the makeup look, it is dramatic, but I think tied in with everything else I'm wearing, it makes sense, right? So I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was super fun for me just to really play and do something wild and dramatic and just have a little bit of fun. As always, check the description box below for links to everything, not only the makeup, but also the products I used on my hair. And be sure that you follow Byootique on Instagram. Check out their website for deals this weekend. And I'm sure they will be having more deals coming up through the holiday season as well. But a huge thank you to Byootique for this makeup tray case. I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it. Even just storing all of the makeup that I have in my makeup artist kit that I can easily take with me, or when somebody's coming to my house. Now I don't have to laboriously take everything out of multiple boxes. I can just open up the top of my train case and I am ready to go. So thank you as always so much for watching. Be sure you tune in if you've been following my vlog for the week. Be sure you tune in tomorrow for the last episode. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.